Well, a very good morning to you and welcome to another doodling session. This is Oliver coming to you from the beautiful seaside town of Youghal here in Ireland. And I'm going to start off by just drawing a couple of circles. I'm going to be doing floral designs, and I find best thing to do is just have a rough layout of where the different flower heads are going to be. And this is going to be the main one, so I'm just rubbing out where it overlapped. Now, it might be a little bit light, I'm not sure if you can see these. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because anytime I've done it without preparing, I seem to end up with just 4 petals. So I'm trying to make 5 petals here. And where the petals are is the center. I'm putting a curved line in there because you'll never have a straight edge between one petal and the other. Now this is all very free format, loose, very loose, and it's just getting an approximation, that's all. We won't stick to it. Just want to make rooms there. That's and I can tell you we will make mistakes. That is one thing I can guarantee. Now we're going to use a 0.1 fine liner, and when I'm doing the outside it's up and down curved, in and out, and that did not look right. That looks like a square. It should not look like a square. Didn't do it well, but we'll leave it at that. That's okay. Now the center, make it a bit bigger there. And just remember, we're going to bring in from the low part, the trough, like in the outside there we have, do another one. So we sort of go up, down to the trough, up again. So that was a trough there beside it, so we should really be going up now, up and down and up and down. And the petal will be where it is down, okay? I'll just put in a circle in there. We just keep it 4. We should have 5 in there really. 4, 5. Try and keep it as an uneven number. It just doesn't look right on 4. So that'll be down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up, and there we go. So I'm not lining up perfectly with the divisions we had before, but that's okay. And that's a big one. Maybe too big. 4, I think so. We put in there's 4, and there's another one here, and just up. It's a bit better actually. Yeah, getting into the hang of it now again. Okay, and back down. And keep on. Just go on anyway. I got it the wrong way there. And no, it's right actually. That one looks nice actually. That's probably the best I've done. And let me just fill in this a little bit more. I find this is the easy way if you started off with the circles, because then they will automatically be in front or behind and you don't have to think too much about it. And continue on there and to the base, and to the base there, and to the base somewhere around there. So there's a little bit there that's not a petal, and I'll just put lines in there. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with it at the moment, but maybe something. Right, how do we make this look a little bit better? Now, just flicks, 3 flicks for each petal to try and show the curvature. And I'll try not to move anything so that I can't talk. I've got missing something there, am I? 1, 2. Yeah, there should be no one in there. Okay. I know it's only a small little one, but I think it'll look a bit better. One, not much better actually. The other ones are too big. I don't think you can really see that there was 5 in that other flower head. So these are flower heads, and simple flower heads. So this is a nice easy way for you to do it free format, starting off with a blank page. You just did a couple of circles and popped your uncle, you're off and away. Okay. And this is what I think about the Zen mode of it, where you're just doing simple things. You don't have to think about it. You just put in flicks, and it doesn't matter if they're wrong, because this is the base layer. There'll be another 2 layers going on top of this, so any mistakes will be hidden. 3. And I think I've got no. What I'll do is the inside now. I'm just going to do little circles. So the circumference should be dark. So just little circles. There's a little hint of white in there. Not much. And you can do this very, very quickly. You don't have to worry. It's just mark making. You're not making actual little balls. You're just doing little circles. So get used to having different marks that sort of become part of your trademark. These are the things that you always do. And now in the center, we don't want it as dark, so we're putting in sort of bubbles in there now, small ones. I'll put a big one in the center of each, so that I'll at least have one little bit of white. And again, when you go out to the edge, they become smaller and blacker. These things don't have to be well defined at all. In any sort of a sketch, you don't really need to have things too well defined. I don't know what that bit was in there, but and last one. Like this is, I might be going a little bit fast on this, but not much. I'll have to slow down now. Okay. We're on the point 1 still. Now, you mightn't want to do this as something I like doing at the edge of the petal, just round them out. It only has a very slight effect on the look of it. So, don't worry if you feel that this is a bit ridiculous. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I just like this little bit of a black there. It defines the petal a little bit more, rounds it out. See, that side is nice and rounded, and I'd like something similar on the other side, maybe not as rounded. And it also shows that there'll be a sort of a shadow there as well. Just a hint of a shadow. We're not getting into Michelangelo type work here now. Alright. Keep everything nice and simple. And I know this is going to go on for about 20 minutes at least. Might even go up to 25 minutes. So I'm not worried about it. This is my little bit of relaxation, and we just do them on the circumference. That's the only place where we do this. It's not like neurographic art where every intersection we round. It's just the ones on the circumference. Okay, so no, they're not. This one is. And again, don't be too precious about it. Just nice little. I love doing this type of thing, don't you? And I know, making mistakes, but that's alright. We just want to, okay, it's a little bit of a stick out there. Nobody's going to notice it. We're finished. Except you, because you've seen it. And me. But nobody else will. And it's already beginning, and beginning to, a little bit of character coming into it now. Small little things, that's all. And it's these small little things that make the difference. And these are the small little things that help you relax and get into your Zen mode. That is nice. And I think I'm at the end now. I think so. There's always one snaking around somewhere. Okay. Well, there's more. I've got more on this head to do. Think of another one. Yeah, that'll be it, is it? Yeah. Get used to doing this, making these little curves, because you'll be doing a lot of them in Zen. They're used a lot. And I just think I'll make this black because it's the space between. This probably would be dark in there behind it, so just make it black. Easiest thing to do. And yeah, I forgot that one. Won't be seen anyway. I think that's it. I think I'm just messing around now. Yeah, I need to put on the second layer here of strokes. Very, very light strokes now. Just light little things. And, get into your own head here. Oh, I invariably start making mistakes when I'm doing this, and I can see all the mistakes. Absolutely. Nobody else can. And sure, isn't that alright? That's why I think there's 5 flowers, is it, flower heads. It'll take a while to do this. And sure, isn't that good? Because it means we can just take our time and just be in the space now as we're doing it. Now I turned it around there because I'm finding it easier. The curve is more natural now with my hand. I wasn't going a bit against it there. I am actually, but now, okay, now I can pull it down right. Feels a lot better. It's June the 7th here, and as I said before, at least I think I said, I'm in a beautiful seaside town of Youghal here in County Cork in Ireland, over in Europe. And today, June the 7th, is European elections to Parliament. So the wife and myself were out early this morning. Not as early as my daughter. She was out before 7 o'clock to cast her vote. But we got our votes in. And there's also a local election for councillors, so I suppose an important day today for democracy. Now, did you get out pen and paper, and are you following me at least? I hope you do something. Like, sometimes I get very lazy and looking at other channels, and I should be doing something to actually, even if you're not doing exactly the same as I am, do something. Do some bit of tangling, or zenning, or doodling, or scribbling. This is sort of a mix of scribbling and doodling what I'm doing here at the moment. And actually I found the inspiration from this actually came from another YouTube channel, and I have to put up the sort of a link there. It is zentanglequ, just QU at the end of the word zentangle. Nice lady, and she did something, and I'm sort of basing this loosely and not so loosely, depending on what way you look at it, on what she did. It's not exactly the same by any means. Back to work, man. It's a bit straight there, isn't it? Not much of a... yeah. When you're doing all these, sometimes you get it wrong. Like, that was very straight. It didn't show the curvature, and it kind of destroys it. But look, it's a doodle. It's not a work of art. And this is the last one. I think I'll do another layer after this one. And what was I saying? Another layer, yeah. And I'll use the grey pen. I got a grey pen there recently. It's more like a pencil, actually. It's like a 2H pencil. It's very, very nice and light. I've never used it before here, sort of shading, to try and give a 3D effect, and I'm curious to see how it'll work out. I'm happy enough with it. Now, I come from a sketching background, not that I've had much of a background in this now by any means, and here's something similar in painting and the rest. Always do it as, think about it as layers. Don't overdo any part. Like at the very beginning, don't try and have the finished work of art, because you will not have the finished work of art. Just say, okay, that's not too bad, and then I'll improve on it later. The trick is at some stage to say, enough, I'm finished. And sometimes I just never get to that stage and I start destroying it. Just putting in just a little hint of a shadow here. I don't know if anybody will see it. I'm just doing it wherever a petal is on top of another petal. There probably would be a little bit of a shadow there, and maybe I should have a more well-defined shadow. But I just want to do a small one. It's like a sort of a stippling, or I'll show you just scribbling. It's a scribble and a stipple put together. I'm doing a scribble now, that's all. Just a quick scribble along there. And that's all of them. I think I should nearly stop, because I cannot really see which ones I've done and which ones I haven't done. I know I should stop, but I can't. No, it doesn't look that way. I think this is the way I should have it. Now I want to put in, give me 0.1 black again. I want to put something underneath this here to kind of anchor it. So I'm just going to put down something like roots. Again, doing something simple. This is all beginners. I need to put something there at the bottom so that they'll all end up at the okay. Now again, free format. I'm not going to do anything very sophisticated here, because this is a beginner's doodle. I might do a little bit of intertwining, but not much. Now, the whole idea is, don't keep doing the same thing all the time, or it'll look very boring. So add a little bit of a break. So we've got that bit of white up there. I'll fill that somehow. Probably with bubbles. I'll take another one down here a bit, kind of straight. There should be a second one there beside it. It'd be very bad if it was on its own. And don't worry if they don't come exactly together. They don't have to. I'm just going to take that out. So it went under. I'm giving the impression now of a little bit of intertwining. Okay. And I'm just sticking the bubbles here. I'll fill the gaps later on with black, but at the moment, no need for it. Okay, so I've got a big area at the bottom there to fill, and I think it's too big, so I'm going to do an under and then come over on the other side. So I'll sort of fill in the bottom and leave a space there up above it. You don't want everything the same, you want a little bit of change. Nothing drastic, this is just beginner stuff, but enough to show, that was now. Bubbles are easy to do, so you can fill up anything with bubbles. Just remember that. It's a nice thing to have in your toolkit, and we could put bubbles there as well. We will. And all we're doing is each bubble fills up the full width. Yeah, we come along the edge, I think, here, and over to the left, and then straight. So that's the, I don't know whether I leave this as totally independent of the other one, or maybe bring across one or two strands over to it. Yeah. And literally, I don't know what I'm doing here. I just don't want to keep doing the same thing. I want to introduce changes in it. That's all I'm doing. Nothing else. Fine. I think we'll fill it all in. There we go. And if we come over along here, it'll look as if they have gone in underneath it again. Which that will look nice, I think. Fill this one totally. Now we have a big white space here that do another one. Although, do you know what? The white space might have been nice there. Just having two sets of roots, but I've started now, and I don't think it would look nice if I just left two big white spaces now. I'll have to do a little bit of intertwining on this one. I notice the top is coming out of one space, which is nice. It's like it's caught in there. I'm just introducing these to break up that inside one and keep them parallel then when we come down. And that should fill up that space down to the bottom. Now, that I think is sufficient. Okay, I'm just, the bubble size is depending on the width of what you're filling out, that's all. Let's take a third one in there. And this one, we'll just fill it up. It's nice to say, that's it, we're going to stop. And you know what, I'm just thinking I might fill up the space between the bubbles with grey rather than black. And a small one in there and there. Yeah, I think I'll use grey. Point one. And again, we'll just stick it in fast. Just a little bit of scribbling, that's really all we're doing. It doesn't have to be exact, it just shades it in a little bit, that's all. You know what, I think we're finished. That was a nice bit of zen, wasn't it? Nice bit of doodling. Yeah. Yeah, I think we will just stick a little bit of a border around it. That's all it needs now. Unfortunately, I can't put a border at the top because, well, that was a mistake I made, but that's life. And I'll use a 0.3 here because everything else was done as 0.1, so it's just a little bit darker. That's all, just a little bit. This will clean it up. It cleans up where all those jaggedy ones were coming. And just keep an eye on where you're going, and you'll keep the line fairly straight. Do it in one go. There you go. Just takes a bit of practice. And there. And now we can sign it. Again in black, I think, is what we'll do. Here we go. This is me. 7th of June 24. And that's it. And Shinawil, I'll just put it there in the center. Or maybe put a bit of white underneath it. Might be nicer with white. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. No need to subscribe if you're not into it. That's all right. But comments if you would, they'd be greatly appreciated. And till the next time, let's slán tamil.